Hey, welcome back to our next episode of Beyond the Grid. I am here with our branding team and the brains behind this beautiful display you see behind us. Hassan, I want to get started with you, buddy. How did you get started with EG4? What does that look like over the last couple months?
Man, we're getting right into it, huh?
No, I'm just jumping right in there, man. I'm just a straightforward shooter.
Well, I've been with the industry, at least the consumer tech industry, for about 15 years.
Okay.
And so I'm not from the energy space at all. And after 15 years, I said, hey, I want to take a little bit of a break from the corporate career. And I had a chat with James, and it was just super motivational, what he wanted to do in the energy space, bring energy to everybody. I actually asked him the question, what do you see yourself doing, or what do you see the company doing in about 2 to 5 years? And he said, if I could get everybody to understand that energy independence can be achieved, that I've done my goal. So it was not a monetary goal. It was not a just a very surface level goal. It was a very heartfelt goal, and that for me was motivation enough to say, I'm going to jump. I'm going to take this leap into this space. So that's how I got started at EG4.
How did you find the transition from, kind of the tech sector where you came from, moving over into renewables? Like, how was that transition period for you? I imagine it was rough, right?
Rough is a word. I will say, if I were to compare the two, it seems like the energy space is in its infancy.
Okay.
It's not necessarily as, believe it or not, tech, it looks like it's all innovative and fast, which it is, but energy is a completely different space. I feel like it's innovative, it's exciting, it's moving fast, but it's almost like the Wild Wild West where there's things still settling down, which is pretty exciting.
It's very exciting. I know for me personally, I know we talked a little bit about this before, sitting down together.
Yeah.
My background, I've been in the solar industry, this is my 11th year. So I have seen the progression of, like net metering in California from, 1, 2, and 3. I have seen battery storage go from non-existent all the way to where we are currently now with EG4. And I mean, this is in a decade.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing transformation. Just this exponential growth in technology and innovation has just been this driving force to get, like we talked about, right? Energy generation for everyone. That's what our goal is here at EG4. That's James's dream and his vision, and we're here to help facilitate that.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud to be a part of that team. I do want to get into some of the beautiful logos and stuff we got back here. Hunter, give me a little bit about where you're at, where you're from, and how you got started with EG4.
Yeah, so I'm the graphic designer at EG4. I started doing graphic design when I was 7 years old. I mean, I would go in my grandma's office. She had an old Dell computer.
So, were you using an Etch-a-Sketch, or like, what were you doing?
Believe it or not, you're not going to believe it. I was using Microsoft PowerPoint for graphic design.
Right.
I didn't know Photoshop was a thing, and they were terrible. They were awful.
Well, to be fair, nothing on PowerPoint
is great.
You'd be surprised what you can do these days.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was time for me to go to college, and I ended up going for psychology. But once I graduated, I had to take a look at myself and decide what I wanted to do with my life. And that love for graphic design has stuck with me since I was 7 years old. And I took a leap of faith. Usually people that go to college for psychology aren't graphic designers, but I saw that there was a way that I could use what I learned and apply that to my passion. So.
No, that's what you should do. And something I've noticed, and this is just something personal in my life, everybody I've known that's gone to college for a specific thing, psychology or engineering, they never end up working in the trade or in the industry that they start out with, right? But they do take that knowledge base and they drive that towards what they're passionate about. So it's great to have you here, man. The logos look fantastic. The booth is amazing. I'm super, super happy with everything you've done.
You got to ask him what his craziest experience at EG4 was.
Well, hold on. Hunter, I'm going to get back to you on that one. Hassan, what has been your craziest kind of moment within the EG4 ecosystem since your conception here at EG4?
Oh my goodness. So when I first joined, I joined the sales and marketing team, and for me to see the speed at how fast EG4 moves was just mind-blowing. So you have 3 different teams. You have a channel team, a sales team, a field team, and then a marketing team.
Right.
And you have 3 different teams that are moving at light speed. And then people say, hey, my company moves at light speed, but I actually have seen it now for the first time. To bring these teams together was an interesting challenge for me.
Very much so, because we all come from very different backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
So we have very different conceptual ideas of how things should really function, but your ability to really kind of drive everybody together and make this consolidated team where we all function relatively, easily, let's say.
Yeah.
It's been amazing to watch. I think you've been here, 8 months, something like
Yeah.
that? And in 8 months, you've taken us from what I would consider us to be more of a DIY kind of base company, which is great. That's where we got our start. That's how we've stayed relevant in the industry. But now your driving force, and Hunter, you as well, are really driving us towards a mainstream, manufacturing plant, manufacturing company. We're in the market now. We're competing with major brands, across the renewable energy industry, which is fantastic, and I look forward to our continued growth in that world. Hunter, I know you've got an interesting one, right? Like, what was kind of your EG4 moment?
The most interesting day that I've had at EG4 so far.
Had it been the day you got hired, right?
It was the day that I came in for my interview.
Okay.
Hassan was giving me the interview, and I walked in there. I didn't know what to expect. I figured they're gonna ask me what work I did before, what's my favorite color possibly. And as soon as I sit down in that chair, Hassan hands me an expo marker, and he points at the board behind him and he says, if you could change the EG4 logo, what would you change it to? I sat there, I didn't know I was like, what? So I sketched a few things.
I actually challenged Hunter also. I said, hey, if you could change, a soda, a popular soda brand, how would you change it? How would you change a fast food logo? So I did a lot of these things. And okay, to be fair, I had already made up my mind about Hunter because I saw his portfolio.
You were already bought in and sold on the product, right? You just wanted him to sell himself to us.
Exactly. And what was really amazing about Hunter, and because I had an idea of where I wanted to take this brand as well, and what we need to do is the whole marketing team was a dream team. Like everyone has great skill sets. The last piece of the puzzle we're missing is a graphic artist that can bring ideas to life, right? So what I wanted to do is Hunter had all the skill sets for that. But what I wanted to do is, hey, can he fit in that culture of fast pace and thinking right on your feet? So that's what I wanted to just, test him a little bit on it. And he did a fantastic job. And I think we offered you the job right on the spot, right?
You did.
Yes.
You did.
So, and I've rarely done that. So he's well, I'm glad to hear that I'm part of your memories.
You are, for sure. I'll never forget that. So
I think that's probably one of the best interview stories I've ever heard. Is just having that because like you said, right, you were already committed, right? You're like, hey, Hunter's the guy.
He's the guy.
But I want him to sell himself to me and show me that he's who I think he is.
Absolutely. What about you, man? What was your crazy story?
And by the way, guys, hey, we're out here at RE Plus 2025. As you can see behind us, we've got all the new brand, we've got new products. I know if you watched the podcast last month, you kind of got a sneak peek at that. I believe that launched earlier this morning. My craziest moment actually had to do with this very podcast. For those of you guys that have watched before, it had a different name a couple of months ago. We're not going to get into that. Hunter, by the way, you did a great job with the new logo and the new name. Beyond the Grid, man, we're rocking and rolling with the new swag. But my craziest experience, actually, I was shooting, I think it was the first episode, and I walk into the studio, and we're sitting down with the production team, we're getting mic'd up and stuff, and I look at our social media manager, not knowing who she was, and I go, hey, are you my makeup girl? And she was so kind enough to just remind me of that right before shooting it. So that's probably my coolest EG4 moment for sure. It was that experience of I didn't even realize that I said it, and here we are, a year and a half later, and she's still busting me up about it. So definitely something I look forward to remembering and sharing some life experiences with Callie over our career.
Yeah, to be clear, we didn't script this part. She's giving us a look right now.
She's right there. She ain't happy about it. But I do want to get into the brand and kind of what we're all about. And we talked about it, like I mentioned earlier. I want to give you guys something that I felt when I came on board with EG4. I was working for another OEM, utility scale, and I was sitting at a job site. I was working on a large-scale battery energy storage system, and my phone rings with a Texas phone number. And I'm from Kansas originally, so I'm like, hey, maybe it's somebody I grew up with or knew, in the past. Pick it up, and it was this young lady named Claire. She was part of our talent acquisition team here at EG4, and she said, hey, I saw your profile on LinkedIn. You look like you'd be a great fit for our training department that we're currently building, right? There was no training department before I came on board. So I met with her. I met with the hiring manager by Friday of that week. I think I got called on Tuesday. By Friday, I had an offer.
Wow.
And the next week, I was onboarded. And the one thing that really stood out to me with EG4 was every conversation I've had via phone or kind of a video conference, and my first day in the office, it just felt right. It felt like a nice family environment. I was welcomed by everybody. My desk was set up. I had a name tag on my desk. I had my computer was set up. I had my laptop ready. I had all the equipment. I was really kind of walking in expecting to kind of be like a regular corporation, right? You go in, you sit down with your hiring manager, you go through all the policies and politics of corporate life, and it wasn't that. Right. It was very down home, let's call it just East Texas, right? It just had that real family feel to it. And that's something that I'm passionate about, and I think that that's what we're doing now, is we're driving that family environment out to mainstream and saying, hey, come be part of our family here at EG4. Yeah. Let us help you be successful. Let us get your homeowners the energy independence that they deserve.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with where we're at with the brand, but I'm curious to know, Hassan, what's your feelings on that?
I'm glad that you talked about feelings, because what I say is your brand is what people say after, or they text each other after the town hall is over, right?
Okay,
so
okay.
It's that internal culture, right? So what we want to do is, back to the point about feeling like you belong, feeling like everyone's connected, feeling like there's actually care between us. What we wanted to do is continuously outshine and outline that type of feeling to everyone out there. So as we think about the marketing programs that we do, or the messaging, or the sales tools, we wanted to really talk about those brand pillars that we really stand for, which is this idea of committed to you, energy independence for all, affordability, premium affordability, and premium. We'll talk about premium in a bit, but premium to me doesn't mean more expensive. It means, hey, how do we drive more value in the hard-earned dollars that you're spending? So for me, that story really resonates with what you just said. That's the first time I heard about that story, and I really like that, because I've heard this, and I felt the same way as well when I joined. I want to make sure that everyone outside the company feels that exact same emotion that you did. And I think if we do that, we've done our brand promise well enough.
All right, so we got a little bit from you. You guys have all heard my story. I know if you've watched the podcast, you guys have heard kind of my background. I've been in the industry a long time. I've worked from different OEMs. I've been an installer. I've been an electrician. I've done all these things. Hunter, I'm curious, because you kind of were the driving force, right, for the new logo. You and Hassan worked very hand in hand throughout the whole branding process. What is your feeling on where's this brand going and why?
So I see EG4 being the most accessible company to newcomers, people that aren't experts in the industry. I personally am not an expert in the industry at all. I didn't work in solar prior to working at EG4, and when you take a look at the industry as a whole, there's one thing that is really lacking: accessibility. That people that don't know every single spec or what they should be looking for in their system. And so we want to present EG4 as a company that people can look at. And you can see this with, our support team. We got an American support team. They work right down the hall from me. They're the nicest people I know. Don't be afraid to give them a call. We've tripled the amount of places that you can contact us on our website, and we just want to be there for you. You can give us a call. We're real people. We're going to pick up the phone, and we're wanting to help you have energy generation.
Hunter brings up a good point. For me, and as we look at, people think about brand, they say, oh, it's a new logo. It's not really a logo, right? So it's what you stand for, and what just Hunter outlined there. So a lot of people think that it's logo or it's virality. Oh, I need something to go viral.
Right.
But brand is actually not virality, it's memorability. What do people remember you as? And memorability is a direct output of consistency. How do you consistently show up? So Hunter talked about these amazing things which completely align to how we think about a brand promise, right? A brand promise is the fact that we're affordable, we're a solution for everybody, we're a premium brand. And now we can talk about premium a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I will almost equate it to like a Toyota Camry, right? So Toyota Camry doesn't mean it's super expensive, but it's driving the latest features. It's driving a great design. Mm-hmm. It's reliable. And every time you spend $1 on like something like a Toyota Camry, you're like, I feel all right. Like I'm backed up.
You feel like you're getting your money's worth, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And the bit, like, I'm going to use the Toyota Camry as a reference here. When you buy a Toyota Camry, right, you're buying a car that's affordable for 97% of the population, right?
Absolutely.
Your everyday, all-American, blue-collar family, right? They can go out and buy a Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
But they're getting the quality of a Lexus.
100%.
So they're getting that longevity, they're getting
Yeah.
all the features and benefits of the car, but they're saving value, right?
Yeah.
They're saving at their bottom dollar, which is what EG4 does, right?
Yeah.
Is we create this Lexus, but we sell it to you at a Toyota price range.
Yeah.
Which really helps drive our brand and our business and makes us an industry or I don't want to use the word industry, it makes us a competitor, right? We can come out and compete with these large-scale, 30-year running companies, and here we are. You know, we're 5-6 years into this, and we're already competitive. And if we continue to drive with your guys' brand ideas and you know our teams, you know, with the tech support and the install support, our sales team members, we're just going to continue to exponentially grow and just continue to take market share. And we're going to just give energy generation, man.
Yeah, and I've sat down with James numerous times, and sometimes hours on end. And what we do is we literally map out the products against, you know, what are the other offerings out there. And it's amazing to see that for each dollar you spend, how much value EG4 gives. There's nothing like this on the market.
Nothing and, I've ever seen.
You know, and what I said to James was, this is amazing. We need to get this more out there. So as we thought about the new logo, and again, logo is just a start. Wait till how we're going to show up. So logo is how you want to show up, and then the programs that come after that. So I said, this is what we've got to do. We've got to start communicating this in a very succinct way that, you know, very consistently. So James and I have been on the same page of how we think about the brand moving forward. So it's really exciting.
And I'm not a marketing guy, right? I'm just an electrician out there working on stuff, but from a marketing perspective, do you guys have a roadmap? Like when you sit down and you look at a rebrand, like the way that we've done this one, do you have a roadmap where you say, this is where we're going to start at, and then this is step 1, step 2, step 3, and then you get slowly to the point where it starts spider webbing out, and then you become a full brand with all of this different recognition. Our podcast, obviously, hoping this continues to go forward. Is that something that you guys do? Like you actually draw out kind of a roadmap that says this is where we need to be in 6 months, this is where we should be in a year, and you know, like you mentioned, the 5-year plan. Yeah,
I'm going to pass it to Hunter to talk about this, but I will say most of a brand strategy is done before the logo is even concepted. So, Hunter, if you remember, we had like almost a 5-hour workshop before we even looked at a logo. We said, okay, what does EG4 really stand for? What do we want it to stand for? And then once you say, okay, all right, this is when it's the go live date for our where we're going to put a stamp on all of it, which is the logo and how we show up. Then what does the future look like? Because it's almost mathematically calculated. I say 18 months where you have to show up consistently to develop a brand where people remember you. But you know, let's know your thoughts too, Hunter.
I mean, I'd like to second what you say. It's not just a flashy logo. No. The logo represents something, and that's where the heart of a rebrand and a brand as a whole is. Whenever you're doing an operation like we have with the rebrand, you have to take a step back and look at the customers, the consumers. You have to know what they want. You have to know their needs, and you have to know what you can provide to them that's going to give that value. And I'd like to point on, when you guys were talking about the value earlier, the value doesn't stop at the spec sheet.
That's right.
We have all of these resources. We have the new power station. We have the new website. All of these resources that are ready at your fingertips. We have the EG4 Connect app coming out.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the value doesn't stop at the spec sheet, and EG4 is providing value in ways that many people wouldn't first suspect from other companies.
I'm gonna just go off of that, right? So we've got Power Station, right? You can go in there, you can do all your form requests, training requests, all that stuff, right? We've got our basic website. You've got our technical sales team, which I'm a part of, right? So we actually go out and do trainings and get customers up to speed on using our products, doing it correctly, and giving the homeowners their expectations. We've got our regional sales team, which we partner with as far as the tech sales team. So technical and regionals will go out together because the sales guys, they're salespeople, right? They know how to go out and have these conversations and take them out, do entertainment things, stuff like that. And then you have our team on the tech side where we can sit down with the electricians, with the foremans, guys that are really field-based and not so much operational. So we're covering both sides of the spectrum, and you don't see that a lot in the industry. They'll be more focused on operational, right? They're looking for the sale. That's not what EG4 does, right? We want to get you the sale, right? Because that's what we're here for. But we want to make sure that you're supported. And that's where the technical sales team and then our tech support team back actually in Sulphur Springs, as well as the power station and all of our documentation online. We want to ensure that you're getting all of the information you need to be successful, because if you're not, your customer's not, and that means we're not. And then we failed our brand.
Yeah, and actually, speaking of which, one of my favorite calls that we have internally, and this is just an inside scoop here, is that weekly Friday call that we have where we have all the technical sales, the field sales, the channel sales, the marketing, branding.
I totally forgot about channel sales. My apologies, channel sales guys. You guys are in there. We still love you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So we get everyone together and we talk about a couple of things. First of all, the amazing customer feedback that we get, and if there's some feedback that we have to address as well. We address that. We also address shout outs to one another because we help each other.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the best part of that meeting, by the way.
Yeah, and I think what that does is not only do we collect VOC, which is voice of the customer, and just make sure that's all in house, but also we build a united front continuously as we tackle the things that you talked about: customer service, brand values. How do we want to show up to audiences? So that's one of my favorite calls every Friday.
I think, and you know what? It's a little impromptu. It's not a Friday, but I'm going to give this man Hunter a huge shout out. He did an amazing job with this booth layout. Amazing job with the brand. The logos look great. Beyond the Grid logo, man, I love it. You're killing it.
Thank you.
So that's my shout out for this week. If we don't get on that call this week, I know most of us will be traveling back from RE Plus.
We'll skip that.
Don't worry, I'll have you one for Friday. So.
No, it's a lot of fun, but I do want to get into some of the other stuff we got going on behind us, because that's really what we're here for at RE Plus. We've got some new products coming out, like we talked about the brands. What else can we talk about that is going to be relevant to our listeners out there that they want to know about EG4 and where we're going in the future?
I think you're going to see, and Hunter, I'd love to hear your point of view too, but from my point is you're going to see, I almost say we use the word rebrand, but I would almost call it fine-tuning the brand. Where what we've done is we didn't completely reshape what EG4 stands for. EG4 is always going to stand for energy independence, energy generation for all. And for us, that means affordability, accessibility, and continuously driving the premium value. So that's going to happen. What you will see moving forward is how does that translate to product design? How does that translate to marketing material? How does it design how does it affect how we talk to our customers? That's where we're going to start bringing a lot of this evolutionary concepts and evolutionary ideas and messaging into our communication. That's what you're going to end up seeing.
That's the most important thing that you do when you do a rebrand is put yourself in the customer's shoes. What do they want? I mean, these things are going to be sitting on people's houses. They want products that are going to look nice. They want products that they can trust, products they can interact with. And in the event that something goes wrong, they want someone there that they can call and talk to, and it's going to help them. So, I mean, in the future, you're going to see us continue to refine the look that we have here today. It's only going to get better from now, and I'm excited to see what the future brings. So.
You know, one thing I do want to throw out a shout out to Nathan too. I mean, I remember the first time you and I chatted too.
Yeah, I remember it vividly the first day I met you.
And I said to Nathan, "Hey, this is my ideas. This is what I want to do." And Nathan was one of the guys who said, "All right, man, how do I help you make this happen?
What do I have to do to make you happy?" Or I don't want to say make you happy because I don't really care. But what do I got to do to help you help all of us, right? Where can I jump in to help you be successful, to get us where we want to be? And like I mentioned, it's incredible. I mean,
So I guess what I want to say is, folks, the person you see on camera for Nathan is the person he actually is. He's super supportive. Sometimes the celebrities like, oh, you know what? But this is Nathan. He's super supportive. He's helped me. He's helped us. He was a huge advocate when we showed him this, and we made it happen together as a team. So a lot of give you the shout out for that too, man.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate the shout out. So why did we pick RE Plus 2025 Las Vegas, Nevada for this rebrand, relaunch? I mean, we did the whole thing, right? The podcast for the rebrand for the podcast just launched, I think yesterday or this morning, right? So we've got that. We've got the new brand here. We've got the new booth design. Why now? Why was it so important to do this launch at this event?
It's a no-brainer. RE Plus, the biggest event of the year.
Absolutely.
You have to do something big at RE Plus.
If you're going to be remembered, right?
So why not now? Why not now? These changes that we've made, why would we wait any longer to make these changes? We want to provide the best solution for people that are looking for it. I mean, so why wait?
You know what killed me was knowing about this for months.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting back going, I don't know if I want to tell somebody.
Yeah.
No, but back to Hunter's point, I like the answer of why not now. Hunter, you mentioned, I joined 9 months and Hunter joined soon after that. It would have been, I would say, premature if we had done it very quickly.
Yeah.
What we wanted to do is we wanted to understand, what does EG4 stand for? I wanted to really pick James's brain. I wanted to pick your brain. I wanted to pick folks who were in the field. We had a lot of work to do. We talked to a lot of VOC customers as well, and we really wanted to understand, what does EG4 really stand for, and where do we want to be? And that slight navigations that we did, this just takes time. And if we had done it too quick, it would have been...
It wouldn't have been as successful as it is, right?
Yeah.
I know something that I wanted to talk about today was the environment inside of the booth, right? We're the end of day one. We're all tired, right? We've all been talking to customers all day.
Yeah.
But I have got nothing but positive feedback, man. Everybody shows up, and I'm going to reference InterSolar last year, right? InterSolar last year, I felt like we were a little league baseball team, and now we're playing in the majors, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Now we're actually up there. We're competing. We're branded correctly. We're showing what we're made of and who the people are that work here and how much we all care about this business and EG4 electronics.
Yeah, and the back to your point, the reactions have been nothing but fantastic.
I haven't heard anything negative. I did hear, and this is for you out there in TV land, that somebody made a reference to Cracker Barrel in the new logo. Come on. We didn't even take away any letters.
We'll keep that one.
I'm not even looking into that. Don't get me riled up. So let's skip over that.
But I think again, back to your point, the reactions have been so positive.
Yeah.
And people have come up to us and said, "Wow, is that going to be the new look? Is that going to be the new design? Is that going to be the new front-facing material?"
Yeah.
And for us, that's really a reaffirmation, if you will, of that we're on the right track. Because if it can evoke emotion, if it can get people excited, and also say, okay, this is where EG4 is going, I'm ready to get behind it, just like we all are as employees. I think that we've been successful.
I'm gonna give you a little insight, right? I was actually walking back here, and I wasn't talking to this customer, didn't know her, and this young lady was talking to one of our sales reps and goes, "Hey, I install in California. I'm not going to mention the competitor's name, but they installed their current system, but they have gotten nothing but requests recently for EG4. Wow. And she made it a point to come over here to ask us what we did and why we do it. And that's this rebrand, right? That's why we do it. Is we're trying to drive in people so we can get them what they need to be successful.
100%.
And it's that passion.
Coming into today, doing something as big as we did, obviously you're going to be nervous. Not nervous that we messed something up, but nervous of seeing how people are going to react to it.
Right. How it's going to be accepted in the industry or in the show. And man, you guys killed it. I'm so proud.
Us and the team have put a lot of hard work into this. It was a labor of love, and coming into the show early in the morning and seeing people see the booth for the first time and seeing their faces light up and say, "Oh, look at the new logo! Look at the new colors!" Yeah.
Well, and then
it was worth it.
If I could say just one thing, we're just Hassan and Hunter over here, but there's a whole team that went with this. The marketing team, the sales team, the technical sales.
Technical team, technical training team, everybody had a voice.
Everyone had a voice, everyone supported us, and for me, that is the most exciting piece, is you had a whole coalition of groups coming together and saying, this is what's going to happen.
I mean, it speaks to the brand, right? When you have all of these different departments and different individuals with different ideas and different backgrounds and stuff like that, when everybody at EG4, accumulatively comes together and say, hey, we love it, let's do it. I mean, that's what EG4 is about, right? And all we're trying to do now is take this brand and bring more people into this family, that we call EG4 Electronics. So it's been an amazing show. Day one is in the books. Hunter, I want to thank you for coming out, man, being on the podcast. I know this is not really your world.
It is not.
You did fantastic. We'll get some
Thank
feedback
you.
from TV Land out there. Hassan, thank you so much for joining. I know we were supposed to have Mr. James Showalter on. Unfortunately, had a scheduling conflict, so you were kind of a last-minute addition.
You had to settle for me. It's all right.
You did great.
Yeah.
Check out next month's episode. We are going to be talking about Don't Let Solar Be Scary. You'll have a new costume out just for me, and you guys will love it. Thank you so much from RE Plus 2025 Las Vegas, Nevada. We'll see you next month on Beyond the Grid.